Move this a little bit closer. Hello, everyone. First and foremost, thank you so much for being here. Of course, this is another historic day for Fresno State athletics and for Fresno State baseball. We all appreciate and recognize, how historic our baseball program here is here at Fresno State. It's very important. When someone says you're a diamond dog, that comes with a lot of weight. It comes with a lot of respect, a lot of history, a lot of success, and we take that very seriously here and truly are thankful for the people who've brought us here. I would be remiss, of course, if I didn't thank the folks who helped us along this journey in terms of our selection here today. Of course, I'd like to start with our president, Saul Jimenez Sandoval, who, of course, always gives us the support necessary for us to do our best in terms of serving students. I would also like to give a real hearty thanks, of course, to our search committee, led by Mike Wickham, our assistant AD here, who is a consummate professional and knows so much about the world of baseball. Really, I'm indebted to him and his service. Along with Dr. Torres, our faculty athletics representative, of course, who always keeps us thinking and keeping the students first and centered in our decisions, and Taylor Wright, our associate director in student athlete services, who did a phenomenal job in terms of bringing more thoughts and more considerations to this process as we look at the complete body of what it means to serve this institution. So I really give a thanks to them. As I talked about before, of course, we all recognize and understand the history here, from, of course, Pete Biden to, of course, Bob Bennett, Mike Beisel, and unfortunately, you don't have a B. I don't think I can call you.
Too late to go back.
Yeah,
right?
we can't go back on that. But of course, Ryan Overland, who will be of course leading us into the future here. I'm not sure what's more difficult in terms of taking on this role in this new era of what we're doing here in student athletes in service, and the expectations it takes to be the head coach here. Coach Overland, of course, led us this year, I think, and did a phenomenal job taking over a program in short notice, making sure that our student athletes, many of them here today who I so appreciate seeing you, had a great experience and really remembered what it meant to be a Bulldog and gave us the ability to do that. I think all of our supporters that are here and our alumni appreciated you for that. You guys did an amazing job. I thank you for your service to this institution. I look forward for those of you who are coming back. Of course, I'm looking forward to continuing to serving you. For those who are alums, I'm looking forward to celebrating wins with you after the games like we all do as Bulldogs. But I appreciate that. I don't know if that was more difficult in terms of the year that we had this year, or going through the interview process and showing and telling me why, although I know what you already know as a coach here, and I know what the history is, and I know you've lived it, but what are you going to do differently here to make us move forward and continue to be the successful program we are? And Coach Overland was amazingly astute as we did a national search here to understand and give us the understanding of his breadth and his vision for Bulldog baseball and what that means in the future. So I was very proud of that. I really appreciated the novel thoughts and really the energy that it's going to take to make us continue to be the successful program we are. So I'm so proud and honored at this point in time to not only to say thank you for this past season, but really I'm so looking forward to partnering with Coach Overland as we move forward in the future. So without further ado, and to get me off the stage, of course, I am now going to, of course, turn over the mic to our new and our future head coach of Bulldog baseball, Coach Ryan Overland.
First, thank you everybody for being here. This is an absolute incredible honor to be here today, to lead this program, one that I've been a part of for more than half my life now. And coming here as an 18-year-old, as a player, as an assistant coach, and now to be here today as the head coach is an incredible honor, and I can't be more thankful for this opportunity. And thanking everybody for being here today. And I think the room and this crowd today speaks to what Terry talked about, how important this program is to a lot of people, not only Fresno State baseball, but Fresno State athletics and what it means to the community. And it's a huge honor to be here representing that. And there's so many people and places to thank, and I got to start right here with Terry Toomey. His leadership and his vision, not only for our program in Fresno State baseball, but Fresno State athletics, brings so much joy and excitement for me in the future of this program. He talked about the history. We have amazing history and so many people that have been a part of this program that I'll hit on here in a second. But his leadership and his vision into the future of what Fresno State baseball and Fresno State athletics and this university is going to be brings so much joy. And as he talked about the interview process, our time getting to talk together and really getting to see that come out from you, Terry, as a Bulldog, it means a lot. And I'm truly excited to be here. So thank you to you first for this opportunity. And again, it starts with leadership at the top. Our president, Dr. Amina Sandoval, and his vision of this university with athletics truly is special. And to have that leadership at the top for where this university, this athletic department, and obviously Fresno State baseball, where it's going, we've got some true, real leadership at the top, and that's exciting. So thank you to you, Terry, and our president as well. So many places to thank that have got here. I think the first piece of this, and especially to the history of this program, is the players. And the players that are in this program today, and the players that have been in this program in the past, and the players that are going to be in this program in the future. Being a Bulldog, you understand as soon as when you become a Bulldog, you get a bond for life with the other Bulldogs. And I've had the opportunity to feel that as a player, and now the opportunity to do that as a coach, and that's brought on so many more opportunities to see things in a different light in the relationships with the people and the Bulldogs in this program. First to the players, to our current team from this 2023 season and heading forward, so thankful for them, for believing in this program, for believing in me, putting their heart in every day to being a Bulldog. Truly thankful, especially for so many of them in the room here today. I love you guys. For the opportunity of the players that I've coached in the past in this program. So many have reached out in the last couple of days, and I tried to get to everybody last night, so if I haven't got to you yet, I'm getting there. But so much support, and that means so much coming from them that you've been in the dugout with, that you've been on the field with, and their support, not just for myself, but for this program, is so special. To the players in this program that I've shared the locker room with, several here today. Tommy, you can come up and talk here anytime, bud. To the bond with them and the support from them and them reaching out and how special this is for them means a lot. And then the last piece to the players of this program, the players that have played before I was a part of this program. Not only the support from when you're a player to then as a coach and now this opportunity as a head coach, it's unbelievable. The love, the passion that so many former players have for this program and want to see it succeed and want to be a part of it, it's incredible. And the trust that they have, the support that they've given, I'm incredibly thankful for. So it starts with the players. The players are what makes this program. It's what we all do it for. The players of this program, I can't thank enough, and so excited for the players of the future in this program. To the coaches of this program, and we've been a long time, a long run of only a couple people being able to have this seat, and there's nobody that understands that more than me. Starting with Coach Biden and what he started long before I was even born, and the legacy tradition that he started, it's strong today. There's a lot of people that still played for him, that knew him, that learned from him, and stories I hear, I wish I could hear more often, but it's pretty often Coach Biden did this. Pete used to do that when we didn't have a field, and we did so many amazing stories, and that lives on today. And so thankful to him and members of his family that's still in contact and support the program today. Thank you to Coach Biden and his family. To Coach Bennett, who our friend Paul Leffler informed me, wouldn't be remiss to recognize yesterday was 3 days since we lost Coach Bennett. And of all the things and the emotions of going through this, having that be kind of connected in this, it hit me. And the opportunity I had to get to know him, the conversations, really meant a lot. And I know what he has done for this program, to the people in this program, the players that played for him, and how much they love him. We're going to carry on his tradition. And it's going to be where Coach Biden's felt, Coach Bennett's going to be felt for a long time. You're about to help me through this part here. Coach Beisel.
Yeah.
Man, the impact he had on this program, 20 years of service. For myself personally, bringing me to this program at 18 years old and believed in me as a player, and to my teammates that were there with it, took us all the way to the top. And 3 conference championships in those years and a national championship. And you better believe what he installed in us, not only for that team to get there, but for our lives. I can attest to that. Coach Bates changed lives. And, sometimes what's beautiful in coaching and education, you get the opportunity to, sometimes people believe in you before you believe in yourself, that see things in you before you see it. And, to myself personally, the connection with Coach Beisel, he did that for me on a number of times. And I'll never forget that been 5 years in assistant recruiting. I was out of the game one time, and I got the text that I'd gotten plenty of times, and he knew the answer. You busy? Yeah, I'm busy. I'm at the 5th game of the day today. But usually he knew. He said, you got a minute to talk? I said, of course. Stepped aside from the game. He was telling me about some things that were going to happen. And he said, anything about coaching the pitchers? I said, to be honest with you, Bates, I think for the interest of the program, I don't know that that's the right thing to do. And I can't tell you his response, but boy, did he tell me I was wrong. And that was an instance of leaving that conversation going, if he sees it, why don't I? And that's something that I'm forever thankful for. That's just one instance of that, but that I try to put in our players as well, just to believe in them before maybe they do, or see it before they do. And I know I wish he could be here today. I know if he's probably listening, he's probably about this point getting frustrated that I'm still talking about him. But I got the mic for a bit here, so
That's
we're
right.
going to honor my coach.
That's right.
So, Bates, love you, thank you. So many other coaches that have been a special to get me here today as a player here in this program. Matt Curtis, Bulldog Hall of Famer, that recruited me, mentored me, big architect to putting together that national championship team. Learned so much from Curdy. Tim Montez, Bobby Jones, and a Bulldog Hall of Famer that was able to learn from. Ted Silva, Mike Main. Coach Main was such an influence on that national championship team, and learned so much from him. Pat Ware, Steve Rousey, I learned so much now on the coaching side of things from. All the way to my man JC, Jermaine Clark, one of my closest friends, and wouldn't be here without. To Greg Gonzalez, and then all the way to our current coaches that have been here supporting this program, and can't thank them enough for what they've done. 3 guys that have come from the outside of this program, immediately bought into being a Bulldog, understanding what it means, and just wanting to help move this program forward. And to Coach Buckley, Coach Price, Jack, you guys mean a lot and appreciate everything you've done. and the future of this program together with you guys. Truly wouldn't be here without you guys. So, so many people of influence to get into today. And then the last piece, probably the best coaches I've ever had, my parents. Thank you to everything you've done in supporting me. All right, I think enough about me, though. It's not about me. It's about Bulldog baseball and the future of this program. And like I said before, with the leadership that Terry's given, the university's given, the future of Bulldog baseball is as bright as it's ever been. Building on the history and understanding the history is one part, but understanding where it's going in the future is what it's really about. And again, the future of this program is extremely bright. Biden Field, Bennett Stadiums are the best places in California to play college baseball. Ask anybody that's come here to play. It's the best place to play college baseball. And we got to keep growing that environment and keep making it even better, keep investing in our players to give them the ability to be the best players, students, and representatives of this institution in this valley, as it's done for a long time, to keep that going forward and to give them the best experience they can and be the best players they can be, and preparing them for life is what this is really all about. So again, I'm incredibly honored for this to be here today, to have this opportunity, and to lead this program going forward. And there's so many more people to thank, and I'm sure I've missed something in there that I was planning on hitting on. But thank you again for everybody being here. Extremely excited for this opportunity and to lead this program into the future. And again, thank you, Terry, for everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll open it up to questions from media.
Coach, it's hard to sum up, but how do you explain what it means to follow in the footsteps of Mike Beisel, who obviously brought you to this program and gave you the opportunity to coach?
It's hard. It's hard to put into words how much it means. Again, for what he did for me personally, what he did for this program for 20 years, and again, the players that he helped develop, the championship teams. That piece speaks for itself. But the biggest piece I can attest, because I've been there with him, the impact he's made on lives, and to honor him in that way, to keep that going forward, is incredibly honored.
And what was that first conversation like with Beisel after finding out that you were officially named head coach?
Just congratulated and trying to do my best to thank him. I'll never be able to thank him enough for what he's done for me.
And obviously, you've had a really important part in recruiting over the last decade for this team. Will that stay the same? Will you pass those responsibilities on to another assistant? Just what is that going to look like moving forward?
It'll be a complete team effort. We've got one of the best coaching staffs here in the country. Two guys that have head coaching experience, that understand what it's like to be in this position, and have championship experience. It's going to be a team effort. It'll definitely be a big piece into that. And that's where it starts, is with the people and the people in your program, and identifying the right people to carry this forward.
When we talked to you throughout the season and the players, they kept saying how supportive they were of you and how great you had stepped into the role. What was that initial reaction like from the team finding out that you had gotten the job?
A lot of excitement. There was, we had some meetings with some guys yesterday, so it kind of became, one-on-one, but their support and their excitement for the future of this, and really coming from a team that we had goals that we were trying to get to, that we set out to do, and to be honest, we fell short, and that hurt. We had a locker room full of guys that it hurt to not get all the way there. But that's what's going to carry us into the future. They're going to carry what they learned this year of how to get there, and the next group's going to get there and finish it. And to have their support and belief in this program means the world.
Coach, you talked about being recruited by Matt Curtis, and we're going back a decade and a half here. Do you remember what those conversations were like when Fresno State was first on your radar as a player?
Yeah, I'll date myself, Andrew. That's 2 decades. I remember the first day seeing him at a game. As it was, you're a player with aspirations to play at the next level, and whether it be at the college level, professionally, and especially now on the recruiting side, people know who's there. And I'll remember going to the end of a dugout one day, and there's a guy with a stopwatch. Oh, and he had a Bulldog logo on. And I remember going back to the dugout saying to one of my buddies, "What do you think he's doing here?" Well, we both went, "I don't know." And he called after that game, and that relationship was formed. And I'll never forget coming here the first time and immediately falling in love with this place. Stepping on that field the first time and being around here, immediately fell in love with it.
When did you know that you wanted to be a coach?
Probably when Coach Price back there first called me after playing after that summer of 2008. It had been a thought as a player, maybe get into coaching at what level, you don't really know, and especially where playing for me ended, obviously, in the national championship and that excitement, and then there was a little bit of time of, all right, what's next? And, Richie, who I've known since I was 15 years old, just got hired as a head coach, said, "Hey, got this opportunity, you want to come join me?" Yeah, sounds good. And here we are, 15 years later, together, sharing this joy together, and that's truly special to me.
So this season, everything kind of came together quickly with Mike Beisel's retirement a couple of months before the season started. Being the interim coach versus being the head coach, does your vision change? Do you get to relax a little bit because you know that you have more than one season?
I think with the timing of what happened back in December and January, the focus was so much on this current team and the players. That's where the priority was, is making sure the special group, the way he had everything that they had invested. It wasn't about me being the interim coach or me being the head coach or any other title. It didn't matter. Extremely appreciative of the position and where it was at, but it was about the players and it was about the team and giving them the best opportunity to be as great as they could be. And wherever the future landed, the future landed. I was going to show up every day and do the job the best I could. And obviously, the Fresno State's where I want to be. I'm a Bulldog. I want to be in this program and see it succeed for a really long time. So as far as this past season, it was about the team and the players, and that's still what it is. But now, obviously, there's maybe you can look into the future a little bit further, which has always been there. The recruiting's always that's the lifeblood of your program. So even this past spring, staying on the recruiting and bringing the next wave of Bulldogs here. Whether I was going to be the next head coach or if it was going to be somebody else, they were going to get hopefully a full cupboard of talent and good people. And I truly believe in that from this roster that's there, the group we have coming in. It's a special group.
So how far away do you think this team is from 2019, the last team to get to a regional?
Right on the doorstep. Right on the doorstep. Like I said before, we had vision and goals for this team of getting there that we fell short. And that was going to be pretty big steps taken forward from where we ended the season before, and honestly the year before that. And we fell short of that, but we did move forward. And the guys sitting in this room that are coming back, they've got lessons and experience that they didn't have coming into this year that's going to carry that, and which is what the 2019 team had. They had battled experience. There were guys that were there in 17 that felt what it felt like to get to have a lead in the 8th inning of the championship game and be 6 outs away and lose it. There were guys that have felt that. And sometimes you kind of got to go through some of those pieces. None of us want to be there and have that be the route, but sometimes it is the road. And all the way back to some of the other championship teams. Sometimes it takes some battles and losses to get to where you're going to get. And this team's right there on the doorstep.
So I'm curious, Aaron Judge was quoted in the press release that was sent out, and everybody knows that you have a close relationship with Judge. When he won the home run derby, you were the guy throwing balls to him. Have you communicated with him through this process? Like, where did that quote come from? Did you get it? Did Terry Toomey get it?
I don't know the answer to that second part, to be honest. I don't know. I got a text from Judgy the other day saying congrats. And especially during the season, we talk here and there, but I'm not one to go bugging. He's got some big things going on. But his support for this program runs so deep in his family. Patty and Wayne, who both called and texted yesterday to congratulate, the Judge family, amazing Bulldogs. Deeper than well before Aaron was a Bulldog. Patty and Wayne got some real Bulldog stories of Bulldog football games and supporting this program and university. This Bulldog blood runs deep in the Judge family, and to see his support and that message yesterday, we haven't had a chance to talk in depth yet, but his support to this program means a lot.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hog the mic. I got a couple quick questions for Terry.
Well, before you start, I just want you to know, just like you don't reveal your sources, neither do we. So we can't tell you where we got that quote from.
Fair enough. But I do want to ask you, Terry, in terms of the actual search process, in terms of the hiring process,
Yeah.
I know that you probably can't divulge other names of interested parties, but
Yeah.
can you kind of tell us how many people applied for the job, and I guess what was it about Coach Overland that made him your candidate?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. We had because we went through the interim process, you had a ton of different people who inquired about the job, which was amazing, right? Everybody kind of looking and seeing what's going on. And then when the formal process happened, it was amazing to see the myriad of people who applied and the different places they came from, whether it was MLB ties, people who are sitting in MLB positions right now, people who are sitting at what we consider autonomous 5 or power 5 places, and then of course all the others. So we had a ton of different individuals to comb through, which was flattering because it talked a lot about how people perceive your program externally, but it also made it a real challenge, right, to really understand and vet through a bunch of different people. And so I was really impressed with just truly the magnitude of it. Even brought it more to life how important this program is. But just to give you a number, I couldn't give you a number, but I would definitely say my Twitter and my text kind of went crazy in the last 45 days prior to the end of the season.
Was there a moment, though, when you knew that Coach Overland was the guy? Was it like an overall body of work, or maybe an interaction that he had with a current player or a former player, the way that he interacted with fans? Was it a specific game in the outcome? Like, when did you specifically know that he was the guy?
I really didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I really didn't know he was the guy necessarily. I had appreciated the investments that we had had during the season, and we had had some talks throughout the season that gave me more of an insight as to kind of his head coaching style. But I really didn't realize or know that he was the person until the interview process, until after that was over, and really understood his vision of where the program should go, and really started to piece together possibilities of things that I saw throughout the season that kind of supported that. So really, this did not. It wasn't a surprise to me that Coach Overland became the person, but it was a surprise to hear the new places we're going to go and how close we are to being what we want to be. I mean, when you think about this program in its entirety and kind of how baseball looks in California, Fresno State baseball could hold his head up to any freaking team in the nation. There's not one group that we fear in the nation as it relates to Fresno State baseball. And I got guys here that can support me on that. We feel very good about where we are, not only in this region, but nationally. So it just needs a little bit of support, a little bit of investment, a little bit of love, and a lot of leadership. And so I think I got this part. Now I got to do my part to do the support part.
And then my last question, and I'll surrender the microphone. What is your vision for the program? We heard what Coach Ovi's vision is. What is your vision for the program and where Bulldog baseball will be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road?
Championships. Personal championships for these young people in terms of what they mean in their lives, but championships on the field of play. That's the vision for our program. That's what we do here. We win championships. That's what we want to do.
Coach Overland, congratulations.
Thank you.
What is Fresno State Baby in Ryan Overland, the head coach of Fresno State baseball?
Somebody like Terry said is going to invest in these players and people and the relationships. And to what Terry just said of championships, championships is the standard of this program for a long time, and been a lot of them. That's the standard. But deeper than the championships on the field, to preparing them for their lives after baseball. And hopefully they get a chance to play in the big leagues. And hopefully we have another American League MVP somewhere in the program, right? But regardless, they're all going to have lives after baseball, and that's truly where the championships are going to come from. And having somebody that I'm going to give everything I can to give them the best opportunity to be as successful in whatever that is in their lives, with their families, with their jobs, their friends, preparing them for that piece of it the championships, oh yeah, we're going to get after it and get them on the field, but making sure that the athletes in this program, when they leave as Bulldogs, they truly are, you're Bulldog born, Bulldog bred, right? And that's forever. So you're going to represent this program the rest of your life, and we got to make sure we prepare them the best way.
And what's the foundation that you saw last year that you can build on for next season and seasons to come?
I think number one, the people that are in this program and the talent that's there and their drive, and they understand what it takes and they understand how to get there. And, I think we've done a phenomenal job of identifying and keeping some of the best local talent here in this program that's evident. And again, one of the things that's amazing, this is the best place in California to play college baseball. And when you have local talent and players like Jack Anchor, Murph Gray, and these guys, Jake Dixon, that are from the Valley and from the community, and their families and friends get out there to see this place, and this place gets packed and loud like it was a couple of weeks ago, you can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Will there be any looking at the transfer portal? I know in college baseball, some of the more successful teams have used transfers. Is that something that you're interested in doing as head coach at Fresno State?
That's a piece to it. It's a piece to fill some needs, and we've had some guys do that in the last couple of years that were at another program and came in. One right here, Roman Angelo, what he gave to this program the last 2 years, coming from another program and coming and giving his heart to it. But again, it's got to be the right people, and you can fill some holes and add some needs and address some older talent right away in it. But I think that the foundation of your program's got to be building guys from when they first get in and keeping them here. And then there'll be some holes to fill and some needs to hit with the transfer portal.
How will you do things differently from your predecessor, Mike Beisel?
By being me. It's the first part. Whether that was me, anybody else you have sitting up here, nobody's going to be Mike Beisel. And just in myself, in any position in coaching, you got to be authentic and be yourself, and that's something that I'll always try to be. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from him that sometimes even I'll say sometimes I go, oh, that was a little bit of Bates coming out in me, which I love and proud to carry that forward. But I got to be me and do things different. And there's incredible leadership strengths, incredible things he brought, and there's also a lot of things that he would openly say to me along the way. Say, make sure you don't do this like I did. Make sure you do this a little different, right? And seeing those pieces, but that's where it's going to be me.
Last thing for me, Terry told us yesterday in the press release how you're able to balance your reverence for Fresno State baseball history, but also your forward thinking in the game of baseball and your dedication to analytics. Can you kind of speak more to that second part?
Yeah, I think the game's evolving. And there's a lot more technology and a lot more quantitative information that we can get and help our players with. And, and what Mike Wickham's done in his time in his supervisor role of our sport has really supported us in that level. And I got to thank him again. If I missed you, Mike, I apologize. What Wick's brought to our program and vision and leadership, and hey, where can we get better? How can we add this? Can we get this? And it doesn't have to be gigantic things, but just things that can directly impact the players. And obviously getting the stadium TrackMan up and running, getting some other scouting and analytic stuff into the program. You got to keep moving forward, not only to compete on the field, but also give these guys the best chance to be the best players they can be. Because it's being used in professional baseball, and there's some things they're going to have to speak the language a little bit when they get out there. And there's obviously some fundamental basic stuff in the game we still can't bypass, but using that information not only competitively, but for our players to be ready for professional baseball is huge.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Holly. Thank you all for coming today. This is, of course, is a monumentous day for Fresno State athletics, Fresno State as a university, and of course, Fresno State baseball. We feel very honored and blessed to serve the student athletes that we have here at this university, and really to serve the students. We have an amazing cohort of students here at this university, so many talents of all the people here, and I've got a great staff that I should thank as well. Not only, of course, the coaching staff, but also the staff that supports them. There's a lot of wonderful people here that support the success of Fresno and Fresno State, and I want to thank them, but most importantly, thank you guys for showing an interest in coming out and seeing us today.